Well, here we go with video 19. We've come a long way considering there's going to be very few people who actually watch this. Why? I guess because there's only less than 1% of the population of the world that really knows that this information is available. And the rest of them, if you tell them, they wouldn't believe it anyway. But it is the truth, and it is the true story of how we got here and why we are here. Now in video 18, we discussed how Caligastia, who is the very first prince of our planet. Our planet, as you know it, is Earth, but it's actually called Urantia. There's always been a prince here, and there always will be. And Caligastia was a very brilliant personality, along with his staff of angels, and that were all here to help us. The Caligastia 100, which you know as the Nephilim, mighty men of old, the fallen angels, they were all here. Caligastia you know as the devil. But in video 18, everything was going great. Everybody was proud of what Caligastia was doing, and his Caligastia 100, those were 100 volunteers, 50 males, 50 females, that were given earthly bodies so that they could help the population move on, to evolve. They ate from the tree of life, and this is an important fact because the tree of life is mentioned in the Bible, and it is mischaracterized because in order for immortal beings to continue being immortal, and there is a more in-depth explanation for this, but the basic one is that they had to eat from the tree of life to remain immortal. And so that tree was very important to the Caligastia 100. Also, when many videos past, we talked about Lucifer and Satan. Lucifer was the system sovereign. He was in charge of 619 planets, of which our Earth, or Urantia, was number 606. And his assistant, Satan, they were doing a fantastic job taking care of Michael's, or you know him as Jesus, little spot in the universe. There was 10,000 systems in Jesus' universe, and Lucifer and Satan were in charge of one of those systems, a system called Satania, which is the system that we live in. 619 inhabited planets. Lucifer and Satan was in charge of all of them. And the capital city, which we mentioned before, or the capital planet, was Jerusalem. You know it in the Bible as heavenly Jerusalem. It is a planet, manufactured planet, about the size of Saturn. Has 7 planets about the size of our Earth circling it, all in which are inhabited. So at this particular time, Lucifer and Satan were doing a fantastic job. there was nothing they were doing at this time that was anywhere near questionable. But for some reason, and it has been surmised that Lucifer, being such a brilliant personality, and their best guess is that he fell in love with himself. And the system of God is set up in schools, and all these schools are designed to teach you how to be perfect. And Lucifer decided for himself that he knew a better way, that everybody should have free will and decide exactly what they want to do. And that is why our planet is so messed up, because this is where Lucifer went into sin. It took him very little time to talk Satan into joining him. And that is how the rebellion started. And the first place they headed was our earth. And they came down, or actually Satan came down to talk to Caligastia while Lucifer was at the system capital of Jerusalem, making his case for the rebellion. And it took a little bit for Satan to convince Caligastia, but he also joined the rebellion. And most of, well, as the Bible says, it took the third of the stars. Angels being called stars, so most of the angels joined in, and a great many of Caligastia 100 fell in, and when they did, they became known as the fallen angels, or as part of the fallen angels. So this video is just to set up the stage for what's going to come and what's happening, and you have to keep in mind that for immortal beings, the time doesn't matter. Time is only important to us. We are born and we die. We have 70 or 80 years, sometime now 90 or thereabouts, and we die. Time is important to us, but time is not important to immortal beings. And so this whole thing is going to evolve over thousands of years. And one day in paradise is like 1,000 years here. So the rebellion, as we are talking, has been ended and been adjudicated. And it's been, and it was ended when Jesus was resurrected. That's when it was ended. And believe it or not, Jesus Christ became not only the God of our universe, but he is also, because he fired Caligastia, or the Prince of Persia, or the devil upon his resurrection, Jesus Christ now is the Prince of our planet. He is the Prince of Urantia and the God of the universe. So that's enough information for this video right here. but we're going to expand upon it, and it's going to take a long time to discuss all the various aspects and the back and forth of the discussions about who is going to be in this rebellion and the arguments against it. So we'll discuss that probably in the next video. With that, I've given you a whole pile of information that probably makes your head spin, but this is the truth. So with that, you have a nice day, and I'll talk to you later.